All right, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here. A lot of people have been asking me how we're doing, knowing that Russia has invaded Ukraine and us having a lot of staff, team members, and also friends there. So I wanted to make this video to update you on a little bit of a personal background as well as the lessons to be learned. And on top of that, we will be talking about the channel going forward. First and foremost, most important part, all of our staff members are safe. Everybody made it out of Ukraine physically unharmed. When the whole thing happened on February 24th, I was actually in Austria visiting my family. And I woke up to a slew of messages on WhatsApp, Instagram, calls by old friends, new friends, relatives. Hey, did you make it out? Hey, is everybody okay? Hey, please tell me you guys are not in Ukraine right now. It was absolute madness. To describe that madness to you is I want to tell you how so many of our staff members have experienced that day. Well, the 24th of February, they did not wake up from their alarms. They woke up from sirens that were blasting through the city. Their relatives had been calling them in panic, and the entire city was in panic. And instead of getting breakfast and going to work, they were trying to get transportation out of the city. But all airports had been closed. Trains were completely overrun. No taxi, Uber, Bolt was going, and everybody was in sheer panic trying to leave the city. There had been videos of people looking out their apartments and seeing Russian attack helicopters flying over their heads. I want you to imagine the sheer horror that these people must have felt. And I want to tell you one thing as well. Nobody expected anything, because a lot of people have been reaching out saying, well, how did you guys not know? Have you not been watching the news? Here's a little bit of background context. If you're a person living in Ukraine or somebody that spends a lot of time in Ukraine like me, you've been exposed to fear-mongering news about Russia and Putin for years already. In fact, we've also gone a little bit deeper on that. We've been listening to experts and been reading up on that. And even a lot of experts have said it is very unlikely that Russia actually invades because their troops didn't look organized enough for that, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to talk about politics here, but the thing is that when you live in Ukraine, you have the choice between, are you going to listen to the news, of which we all know they're fear-mongering and vastly over-exaggerating and have been for years now. And if you do that, do you allow that news to make you live in fear and wanting you to leave your country every 2-3 weeks whenever something happens? Or do you just make that choice of saying, you know what, I'm going to live a normal life as much as possible? So in defense of all the Ukrainians that have stayed there, that was the reality for many of them for many, many years. And that's also why many haven't just left. They only started leaving when things actually turned into reality. What ensued for us after February 24th was around 60 to 70 hours of pure madness. We've been trying to get our staff out of that country, trying to get our friends out of that country. Many of our staff members have already had the option to leave before. We basically said, hey, if anybody is not okay with the situation, please, feel free to leave. We're working completely online. No issues there from our side. If you need any help, we're going to get you out beforehand and so on and so forth. And some staff members have taken that and have already gotten to safety many days or even weeks before it happened. But most staff members, like I said, have opted to stay there because they said, I'm not going to be fear-mongered and I'm sure nothing's going to happen. Fortunately enough, like I said, everybody made it out. So once the Russians invaded Ukraine, we were basically nonstop on the phone with our friends, with our colleagues. We've been nonstop on the phone with embassies, with people at the border, and we just tried to coordinate them out. Once everybody got out, they've told us their stories of what they've seen, what they've heard, and what they felt when they tried to get out of the country. Many of them got over the border to Moldova and then took flights, and we flew them out to Vienna to meet us here. Some of them actually got their own car and fled over the border to Poland. They basically said they woke up that morning, sheer panic, tried to get transportation, none of it worked. Fortunately enough, after a couple of hours, after that initial fear of panic, taxis and Uber started to work again. Many of our team members actually have gotten transports via Uber and via taxi out of Kiev all the way to the Moldovan border, which is, an 8 to 16 hour ride. Big shout out of love and respect to the taxi and Uber drivers that have gotten our friends and colleagues out while they themselves have probably been afraid to death. And our staff members said they were in the car, there were tanks rolling up to the side of them, there were fighter jets flying above them. their entire family just panic calling them the entire time while they themselves tried to stay calm. And then of course, once you made it to the border, it's not over yet because you still have to go through the border, and there were people just lining up. Apparently there was traffic jams 10 kilometers long. So many of them actually opted to just leave the cars and just walk across the border. It's been absolute madness. And fortunately enough, like I said, everybody made it out. And on top of that, I also want to thank everybody that's been in touch with us. I've gotten so many incredibly heartwarming messages of people like, hey, is your team okay? How are your friends okay? Hey, how are you guys holding up? And then after that, literally hours after it happened, we've gotten a slew of messages of saying, hey, I'm at the so-and-so border, I'm at the so-and-so place, I can transport people, I can get you out. And then people started messaging us from literally all over the world saying, Max, if you know someone in Ukraine, I can host them, I can provide them with food, shelter. And I've never been someone that likes this like social media support a lot because I never thought it meant anything, but really seeing so many people just reaching out and helping and saying like, hey, we're picking up so and so many people that have just lost their homes. That really, really warmed my heart. And just having been able to be part of this, at least a tiny bit, and get some people out, that makes me really happy. If we reflect on the situation now, what we can really learn from this is the following. Times like these teach us the importance of love, friendship, solidarity, camaraderie. I think I've grown much closer to my own family. I've grown much closer to all my friends and colleagues from Ukraine, and I've grown much closer to my team, who've all worked together to get everybody out sound and safe, and we're all supporting each other now, you know, mentally, spiritually, and that was really, really beautiful. And I'm a very introverted person, and I like to be alone, but I really, really am happy that I'm amongst such formidable people who are all supporting each other. I felt a lot of love. And I felt really good to be able to give a lot of love to other people as well. The other thing that has taught us is the importance of freedom and safety. And I really want to say this, if my business wouldn't be doing exceptionally well right now, I could have not gotten my friends and team members out so easily. You know, this is a business channel, it's not a politics channel. We're talking about generating income here. And if we didn't have access to high income, we wouldn't have the options to get so many people to safety. And I'm really, really appreciative of that. Imagine getting away with your life only to be then finding yourself facing financial ruin and the anxiety that goes along with that. So please, if you get anything out of this, find something that allows you to have the freedom to go somewhere safe whenever you want. I have a lot of my friends that have left Ukraine even before it got serious. And for them, not much has changed, at least financially. They're still able to generate their own income. They're still able to be flexible. But for a lot of people, this is not the case. So please, just be aware of that. And please, whatever you're doing in your life, try to do something that gives you a lot of options, and that gives you, most importantly, options to get your friends, family, and loved ones out to safety as well. Now, in regards to this channel going forward, I of course want to continue my commitment to you, the dear viewer here, with providing as much value as possible. This experience has impacted my life a lot, and I want to continue to talk about the lessons as we're learning from them. So I will continuously upload hopefully valuable content in terms of personal development, as well as business, as well as just general life lessons. Yeah. And last but not least, a lot of people have been asking me how they can support Ukrainian people and refugees. I'm posting a lot of this on my Instagram account. I'm posting friends that are trying to get out, trying to look for transports and so on and so forth. And we've been able to connect a lot of people that needed help to the people that offered help, and vice versa. And it makes me very happy. So if you want to help, feel free to check out my Instagram stories. I'm also going to post a link right here in this video where you can donate and find other ways where you can help the Ukrainian people. And other than that, please tell your friends, family, and loved ones that you love them. Give them a big fat hug, and because you never know when it's too late. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity for me to share. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.